Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and thanks for tuning in to another siege battle in 1212 AD. This is a 3 versus 2, and the attackers had 63,000 in funds, and the defenders had 40,000 between the two. And as a side note, I just hit 750 subscribers, and I'm just really wanting to convey my thanks to you guys for supporting me thus far. We're almost coming up on a year that I've been uploading content to YouTube, and 750 subs in a year is more than I hoped for. My goal was to have 100 subs by the end of the year, so you guys have definitely smashed that. So as I always say, keep giving me criticism, suggestions, maybe other games that you'd want me to kind of showcase on my channel from time to time, other siege battles that you'd like to see, maybe some epic scenarios and whatnot. I'm pretty open to any type of ideas and also to any way to make my channel better. So without further ado, let's take a look at the army comps and then we'll get the battle started. So starting with the first attacking army, from the very right side of the battlefield, we have the Holy Roman Empire, commanded by Blablo, and I believe this was his first multiplayer battle in 1212, so I really appreciate you for joining in, but we're zeroed in on the Emperor's Hairchild here with the golden helmet, and he's also bringing a few units of Imperial Ritter of the late period, looking very elite, very awesome. And then over here, he's got 4 units of Pavis Ambrutsutse, which is a Tier 3 Pavis crossbowman. And then he's also got 8 units of the... Where are they? 8 units of the Ossoldner, which is their best infantry. And then I believe he has 4 units of Dismounted Ritter of the High Period. Looking very good. They've all got some silver chevron upgrades as well. The rest of his Ossoldner are in the siege towers over here, and he is also bringing a bombard. So very well rounded out army, and a good choice to start off your multiplayer battle experience. Holy Roman Empire, they're a pretty all-round good faction. So we'll see how well he performs in the battle. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next attacker. So just to the left of Blablo's Holy Roman Empire army, we have the Kingdom, or the Duchy of Austria, commanded by myself, and I am attacking in the center. And I've also got a pretty well-rounded army. It's pretty close to the same build as Blablo's. So in the front lines, I have 4 units of these Pavis Ambrutsutse, and then I have a unit of Bombard. And I have, I believe, 8 units as well of the Ossoldner of the late period. Along with that, I'm bringing 4 units of Dismounted Ritter, but I'm bringing the Tier 3. And then for my cavalry, I've got my General's Bodyguard back here, the Duke's Hairchild. And I believe this is him. He has a really nice white beard. So that is him there. And then on either flanks, I have 1 unit of Austrian Ritter. So I've got 1 on one flank, and then 1 way over on the other flank as well. So as far as my artillery, I've also got a bombard. But that's pretty much all of my army comps, so let's go ahead and take a look at the last attacker. The last attacking force we have to take a look at is the Empire of Nicaea, commanded by DeBoss 11111, and he is currently firing with his bombard right now, but don't worry, we won't miss any of the action. He's gone for archers instead of crossbows. He has 4 units of these heavy archers, and then right in behind he has 4 units of Scutatoi. And then for his cavalry, he's bringing 2 units of Latin Con. So they are Tier 1 cavalry, but still pretty deadly. They're a heavy shock cavalry, so nothing to dismiss too quickly. And then he's got a couple units of Anglo-Varangioi at the back here. I think he has 1 or 2 units of them. And then he has 3 units of... sorry, how many does he have? Let me double check. Yeah, so he has 2 units of Anglo-Varangioi and then 2 units of Spatheroi Guard. He's kind of keeping them in reserve. And then, as far as the rest of his infantry, he has 2 units of the Scutatoi Swordsmen. And then he has 1 unit of Rus Mercenaries. And then the last unit is his Varangian Guard that's over there on the other flank. And we have the Emperor's bodyguard over here as well. And he's kind of forwards of his bodyguard. I really like that. He's kind of at the beginning of his bodyguard, I'm sure, ready to go. And that's it for all the attacking armies, so let's go ahead and take a look at the defenders. The first army charged with defending the city is the Kingdom of France, commanded by CJ Sniper. And CJ Sniper's also new to 1212. He's played a couple of custom matches in medieval kingdoms, but I believe that this was his first online siege. So again to you, thanks very much for joining in. Really appreciate it. And he's bringing a pretty good army as well. He's got 3 units of these mercenary Swiss pikemen. And then he has 3 units of Scots Guard in behind. And he also has, if you guys can see through here, he's got 2 units of mercenary Genoese crossbowmen. He also has a catapult. Here is the other crossbow unit over on this side. And he also has a very elite unit of dismounted gendarme. These guys are awesome. I really, really love them. And then the rest of his force is kind of scattered in and around. If you see over here, he's got... nope, that is not it. Where are they? They're over here. He's got a couple units of pavetiers, 2 units of them. And I believe the rest of his forces, he's got a couple units of cavalry over here, some gendarmes, 2 units of them. And then he's got, I think, 4 or 5 units of homdarmes of the late period, so his very elite French infantry. And I believe that's all that he's bringing to the battle, so let's go ahead and take a look at the final defender, and then we will get the battle started. The final defending army is the Duchy of Brabant, another Holy Roman Empire-styled faction. So he is holding with France inside the settlement. This is played by Hamdog CDXX, and he has, right in the front lines, 4 units of Usoldner of the late period. He's got a couple of dismounted Ritter scattered in and around the city as well. And he also has 3 units of these Brabantian Ritter, which look really awesome. I don't think that they're any better than Austrian Ritter or Imperial Ritter. I would assume that they are the same stats. He also has his general over here, the Duke's Hairchild. And then he's got a couple of units of Landschnet. I think 2 units of them. The other one is over here. And he also has a couple of units of Pavis Bergmannen as well. And these guys are really formidable spears. They can hold for a very, very long time, as you will see in this battle. So yeah, that's about everything, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed those army comps, and without further ado, let's get started with the battle.
We have destroyed the enemy tower!
Welcome to the battle, guys, and as you can see, the siege is going quite well as far as the bombardment phase is concerned. We've got the Empire of Nicaea's bombard just destroying as many towers as they can. But what is this? We've got a sally out by hundreds upon hundreds of Brabantian and French soldiers. They are actually pushing outside of the city walls and taking the fight right to the Empire of Nicaea. Now, the Empire of Nicaea is only 1 army, so if they can eliminate DeBoss 11111 quickly enough, then it will immediately become a 2v2 and actually balance the forces, or I'd even say put it into the defender's favor. Now, the only thing is, DeBoss was really lucky, and he actually deployed very far back from the very beginning of this battle. So as you can see them coming forwards, he's actually got a lot of time to prepare. And not only that, he's actually got a lot of time to ask for aid from the other armies. And as you can see, I'm already sending forwards my Austrian Ritter over to this flank. And I'm also sending my Pavis Ambretütze. And I'm sending 2 units of my swords as well. But we've still got the bombard firing down. If I was him, I would probably try and get that unit of bombard in behind my lines, or at least retreat the crew. Over here, he's already pulling back his Skutatoy swords and his Rus mercenaries. But I would assume that, like, this is 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 18 units. So this is probably close to, I'd say, 1,700 men that they've pushed out of the city walls. And when you only have 3,900 men and you're going to leave 2,000 to defend and charge out with 1,700, this better pay off. And the best thing for DeBoss as well is actually his archers have a much better range than the crossbows do. So he's actually going to be able to fire down on the enemy Brabantian and French soldiers before they even get into range. So the element of surprise is definitely not with the defenders. So we'll find out if this is a valid strategy or if maybe they should have pulled back inside the settlement. But yeah, there we go. Looks like the archers are pulling back in behind the spear wall, which is probably a smart thing. And, oh, actually, we've got some of the cavalry charging in, the Latin con, getting the little antsy, charging right in, going for all of those Pavi's crossbows. They do have some of the homed arms actually there to kind of shield and protect them, but they've already lost 25 men in that charge. Now, the Latin con are probably getting destroyed. Yes, they are, but the good thing about that is that a lot of these units have actually used up almost all of their Pila on that one unit. So, yeah, it's going pretty good, I'd say, so far for the attackers. We've also got another unit of Latin con over here. It looks like this cavalry is going to be able to flank around. The Brabantian Ritter are in a really tight column formation, and they're just skirting around the Nicaean infantry. But let's see some clashes over here. I do have it in slow motion. There we go. Some of the Brabantian Assaultner charging in against the Rus mercenaries. Now, the Rus mercenaries, they are not going to be able to hold against this more elite unit for very long. So he is going to need to have reinforcements over there. Now, these Skutatoy swordsmen, they'll probably do much better. But let's turn on the HUD, and yes, here we go. You can see that my Austrian Ritter is actually getting some really nice side charges off on the Assaultner of the late period. Both of them down to half health already. Now, I do see that there's another unit of gendarmes coming in to close the gap, but I'm going to go ahead and leave these units of cavalry in because I really want these two units to break. Otherwise, all of this cavalry has died for nothing. So I am just kind of hanging on. I'm hoping that the shock charge would have been enough to break them, and yes, there we go. Both of the units decide to break. My cavalry breaks, but that is okay. We've actually eliminated 2 units of infantry already. Now, what's most worrisome is this over here. They've actually sallied out with some of their Landschnet, and we do not have pikes over here. I didn't bring any pikes. My ally Blablo didn't bring any pikes, and neither did DeBoss. So the pikes, the defending pikes, do have a bit of a potential danger to a lot of our forces. Oh, here we go. I'm going to turn this on. This is going to be a pretty hard charge. Or wait, are they going to change their mind? Maybe go for something else? Yeah, it looks like they're going to go, I believe that's right into the general's bodyguard. Yeah, DeBoss having to send in his general already. And it looks like we got some more cav coming in to support the general there. Yeah, that unit of Brabantian Ritter actually not faring very well at all. They've actually been flanked by some Skutatoy swordsmen. That's probably why. But over here, my cavalry still survives, which is pretty amazing. We got these Skutatoy fighting the homed arms, but we've got some gendarmes that are actually flanking around. And here's the Varangian Guard actually already being committed to the fight, and I'm wondering if they're going to get a pretty solid charge here. No, it doesn't look like it. I think they're going for a different target. I've got a very depleted unit of Austrian Ritter that I'm going to try and catch in melee. Or just to tie down this unit of gendarmes, because they are actually going for the heavy archers. So we want to protect the archers as much as possible. Let's go ahead and pop this back on a slow motion for now. And let's zoom on in. We've got the pikes actually moving forwards here, as you can see. And the crossbows are pushing pretty heavily on the flanks as well. I was just praying that the forces of Nicaea would hold long enough for us to send some reinforcements. But so far, Debussy doing really well, considering that there's a mixture of Brabantian and French armies in here. He's only one man, so he's microing against two enemy players. But yeah, these pikes are kind of pushing in on the flanks over here. If I zoom out, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything important. All the way from the other side of the battlefield, we also have 2 units of Imperial Ritter from the Holy Roman Empire being brought in to aid the Empire of Nicaea. And over here we've got the very, very deadly Varangian Guard fighting these units of Homed Arms. One is already breaking as well. Yeah, you can see them trying to turn and run. Oh, this guy's gonna die, probably. Come on, kill him. Kill him. Oh, looks like he's going to escape. That's annoying. Oh, there we go. That Frenchman is down. Grabbed the shield, yanked it down, and then just got his axe right in underneath the helmet. How are we looking over here? Yeah, here comes the, I believe this is the enemy cavalry, the gendarmes. They're probably going to get a pretty decent side charge on some of the Varangian Guard and the Scutatoi. But luckily, a lot of the charge is going to be blocked by the Homed Arms, which is good. That is good for us. So, still surviving. Looks like all of his archers have escaped, pretty much unscathed. However, if you look over here, his general's bodyguard just getting out of there with 10 men left in his unit. So, yeah, this emperor barely made it out with his life. But yeah, now my units are starting to show up. Let's kind of jump in over here so you can see my units are really going to be pushing hard on this flank to just try to encircle them so that they are not able to retreat back inside the city. And there's the Imperial Ritter looking very glorious as well. Charging forwards. And there we go, my Austrian Ritter throwing their little one-handed axes before charging in. Very, very epic. Just look at the death already. Like the first 5-6 minutes of the battle, and there's just utter carnage. But yeah, the Imperial Ritter showing up just in time, and look at this. They are really trying to get their forces back inside the city. They've called a complete withdrawal from this kind of sally out. You can see that the Empire of Nicaea is pretty battered up. He's battered and bruised, but he's still in the fight, which is good. And my archers are starting to be pushed into range as well. Yeah, it looks like the Brabantian general actually out here to call the retreat himself. But I respect a man who knows when to tactically withdraw, instead of throwing away the lives of these 500 survivors. But how many have they lost so far? So we've lost about 700 men, so that's not bad for them. However, they've lost 1,300. So, especially in a 3v2, that's not a good way to start it off. But it looks like these crossbows are trying to escape. And we also have this unit, a unit of depleted pikes here that are trying to pull back as well. And we have another unit of pikemen over here too, actually. But I think my crossbows are going to get into range very soon of those pikemen, and it's going to be good night for them. However, the Imperial Ritter were actually tied up by the Brabantian Ritter, which was a good play there, because he should be able to withdraw his crossbows now. But yeah, these pikemen, there we go. My crossbows starting to unleash their bolts. Oh, that was a brutal shot. And it looks like some of the units trying to retreat. We got some of the Assaultner also getting hit pretty hard there. And look at that. They've got to get that Duke's Hairchild out of there. The Imperial Ritter, and I believe we've got some Latincon in here as well. Yes, getting some revenge and hoping to get an early kill on the general. Luckily, the Landsknecht actually sacrificed themselves to slow this cavalry. However, he is going to lose at least one of these units of Pavi's crossbows. Oh, but they're actually getting point-blank fire before retreating even further. So a very, very epic start to this battle, but it looks like the Imperial Ritter are free of the pikes, and they're going to continue their push into these crossbows, and it looks like the general's going to have to go in once again to save his crossbows. That is such a nice shot. The Brabantian general bravely trying to save his men. I would have probably been already back inside the city. What are these crossbows doing? Coming back. Yeah, okay. Looks like they're going to finally retreat. But, yeah, I don't think many men got back into the city here out of that. Yep, the Landsknecht are about to break. So I have taken some casualties. I've got my 2 units of Alsoldner here. They've each lost about 20 men, and one of my Pavi's crossbows has lost about 10. The Nicaeans, they've lost, I'd say, probably about a third of their army. But because of good coordination and also the fact that all of us supported DeBoss in this fight, we were able to push them back. And yes, the Brabantian general is about to break this Latincon, but he is out of time. He needs to get back into the city ASAP. Same with these crossbows. Like, stop kiting. Just pull them back. They're going to die otherwise. But yeah, so that's the very first part of the battle, guys. And also, there's going to be a very, very long phase where we actually take the walls, but no fighting goes on to take the walls. So I'm going to do a pretty substantial cut here, and then we're going to pick it back up once we're inside the city and the next phase of the battle begins.
You destroyed the enemy tower!
Alright guys, welcome back, and as you can see, DeBoss 11111 is just charged what's left of his very depleted units of infantry in against these Pavi's Bergmannen. The defense is pretty staunch over here. It's going to be really hard to kind of crack this final defense. You can see that they've got about 2 layers here. So the first layer is this 1 unit of Pavi's Bergmannen, and there is 2 units of the Trabantin over here as well, spread out in loose formation, offering very good cavalry fire. And then there is another unit of Pavi's Bergmannen up here as well, with another tier of archers, and here's where all of the crossbows are, way up on this flank. If we zoom out, you can see that they still have a lot of their very elite units left, so they've got some Landsknecht, some dismounted Ritter, they have a catapult, we've got the gendarmes over here, some mercenary Swiss pikes, and over here we've got some more of the pavetiers as well from France. We also have this nice little kind of military camp over here where some of the Scotsguard can rain down arrows on the Holy Roman Empire as they try to push up against the spear wall. Now, like I said, we did do a pretty substantial cut. We actually took the walls with no opposition whatsoever. And I usually say that it's always a good idea to to defend the walls. But in this case, I agree with the defender's decision, just due to the fact that we were able to destroy each and every one of their towers. So at that point, there's really no need to defend the walls, especially when you're down by so many men. We actually have 2,500 more men than they do, or about 2,400. But here comes DeBoss as well. He's sending in some of his Skutatoy spears to see if maybe they can have an edge against the Pavi's Bergmannen. But what's really going to be needed is some halberds to crack this defense. The spears are holding. Looks like the Skutatoy are going to have to slowly ascend the hill here. There we go. And it looks like the Holy Roman Empire also sending some Soldner over on this flank. He's got 2 units coming over here. I believe I have a unit of Ritter that will be coming down to help out any minute. But I've got my 4 Ritter at the back there along with my General's bodyguard. So it's, like I said, it's going to be tough to get in here. However, we do have the manpower. So if we can continue throwing men at this defense, eventually their archers are going to run out of ammo, and they're just going to run out of men to be able to plug the gaps. And at that point, we should be able to just storm the keep. There's a couple units of archers right at the top there. And I think that the catapult is coming down. Yes, firing right into these units. They need to just push into melee if they're going to have any hopes of surviving. However, at the same time, we need to be really careful not to blob up too many forces in this one choke point. You can see that these Pavis Bergmannen are effectively holding back 3 units so far. And if any more are sent in, that's just going to be a perfect target for the catapult. But we can see it, we can take a look at it from the Pavis standpoint, looking down the hill. Oh, it's not really a hill, it's more of a ramp, but yeah, some more hits coming in. Luckily, most of them did miss or didn't get too many hits on that unit of Soldner down there. But yeah, at this point, it looks like Bloblo's just going to charge them right in. The other thing is, too, is we're pretty susceptible to archer fire right now. So we're going to have to be careful with that. But yeah, here comes my Ritter. We look way down there. There they come. Holding the Austrian flag. The Ritter is really what's going to be able to kind of punch through this spear wall. But at the same time, they don't have really good missile block chance. So if those Trabantin get a hold of them, it's not going to be good. And it looks like the Scutatoy are finally pushing up the hill a little bit more. I'm not sure if the boss is trying to actually push past them, but he will lose quite a few men doing that. This spear unit isn't weak enough yet to be able to push through without taking heavy losses. But yeah, there's my Ritter. You can see the Austrian flag pushing up the hill even more. Wow, that was a big hit though from the artillery, killing quite a few of my Ritter already. And we've got some pikes coming in now. That is not good. Whoops, sorry guys. Yeah, you can see the pikemen moving forwards over there. And they're going to start lowering their pikes right in front of the Pavis, actually. And I don't know how damaged my Ritter are at this point. Yeah, they've already lost almost 30 men, and they've killed 3. 3 men, but they've lost 30. That is not good. Now, the Holy Roman Empire over on this flank, he's being a little bit more conservative. He's kind of waiting to see what happens on the other flank. But at the same time, we need to kind of have the pressure on both sides, because otherwise these pikes and these spears are not going to be needed over here, and they're going to be transferred over to the other side for, you know, better use of the men. In a siege like this, all the manpower you have is important. And yeah, my Ritter are just getting slaughtered right now. Down to almost half health. And they've killed 4. So that's where the defenders are going to be turning this around. My very, very expensive units just being bogged down by 1 unit of Pavis shields, and then, or Pavis spears, sorry, and then just the archers going to work on them. Because if we look at these Trabantin over here, this unit only has 4 kills, surprising. Where's the other unit? Oh, it's back up here. It's got 23 kills. This crossbow unit has 64 kills. This crossbow unit, 97 kills. This Scots Guard unit is obstructed. It cannot fire. But this unit of crossbows, 33 kills. So they're racking up, essentially, you know, hundreds of kills. And really taking few losses. Like, this Pavy Spears lost 30 men, so... Oh, there's a tree in the way. Yeah, I'm really trying to get my Ritter up to the front here. Unfortunately, they're just being picked apart by these pikemen. These Landstedt are just really effectively holding us back. And it's actually giving the Spears a little bit of respite to rest up. Fight, men, fight. And I don't know, but I think that's, yeah, almost all of our men breaking right there. One unit of Spears has come back, the Skutatoy, so they're going to be pushed back into melee. We've got some Assaultner who are shaken over here, but I don't think they're going to be pushed back just yet. But my Pavis Ambrutsitzen are trying to get some kills. You can see the Holy Roman Empire also has one of his units over here, but it is obstructed. And how are we doing over here? Ah, yes, perfect. So finally the Holy Roman Empire is pushing forward some troops over here. I said over here twice or three times in that sentence. Sorry, guys. But yes, he is pushing on this flank. And now they're going to have to tie up some of their spears up over on this side as well. So they're not going to be able to move them to reinforce the other flank. But the Holy Roman Empire, he's also got some of his Ritter in here as well. So they should be able to do some better work against these Pavetiers than we're doing against the Pavis Bergmannen. There's another spear over here that's guarding. I think the pikeman is gone, though. Yes, it is. Yeah, there's the Ritter right up front. Just bashing those shields with their massive axes. I love this this banner carrier here, this Holy Roman Empire banner carrier. He looks like the medieval 2 Ritter Bruder, or the Halbruder. Oh, he was almost killed, but luckily there was a Holy Roman soldier right in front of him who took like 2 arrows. And he is not even phased. He's just continually pushing forwards up the slopes. Fighting with the flag. I love it. Just waiting to see if he's going to die or not. I'm not going to spend the whole battle here, though, that's for sure. But he's like leading the charge here too. Oh, he got a kill there too. Somehow he stabbed someone right through the plate armor in the stomach with the dull flagpole. Oh no! Oh, he was almost knocked down, but he's back up. All right, we'll let him be. We'll let him be. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other side. Looks like we got some of the Genoese crossbowmen moved over to that flank. I've sent in another unit of Ritter over here, but it's the same story. They're down to half health. They've got 19 kills. I'm really struggling at this point with my soldiers. I've got a unit of Assaultner in there now, and I have just had it with these Pavis spears, and I just tell all my forces to push through. They are weak enough now, and their shield wall is broken enough that we can just push through and get right in around them. And I'm actually just going to push my Assaultner right through. There they go, throwing their ranged axes at the Pavese wall and doing no damage. And they are moving up to the second layer. And we are just finishing off these spears with my halberds. Yeah, don't let them flee. There we go. So this is the final stand. This is their last, pretty much their last fallback. Or they can fall back to the town center. That's pretty much the last fallback. So I'd say this is the second last stand. But DeVos is sending all of his heavy archers in because I think that's mostly all he has left.
The enemy are losing their advantage.
Oh no, he does have some Skutatoy, and he does have his Varangian Guard and the unit of Anglo-Varangioi as well. But let's go back over here, take a look at what's going on. Yeah, these spears are having a bit of trouble now. They're down to 72 men. Their morale is really low. And yes, that banner carrier is still alive. He's kind of looking right and left like, come on, men. Like, we can do this. Push, push harder. And I think the spears have broken, but we've got another unit of Pavese spears just in time that plug the gap. However, they are not in spear wall, which is a really good thing for the Holy Roman Empire. But now this unit of Ritter is low on morale, and I actually do not see the flag bearer, so he actually may have been killed. Oh, that's too bad. I think he was. And it looks like some crossbows are firing like point blank over here. And what's this duel? Who is this guy? Like, oh, he's a crossbow. Okay, his shield materialized back. Oh, yes, there's the flag on the ground. Oh, no. So, yes, our beloved flag bearer is dead. Actually, I think that's him right there. Yes, it is. So he was slain on the battlefield. Well, he will be remembered. There will be a song sung about his great exploits in conquering this city. Let's jump back to the other side and see the carnage that is no doubt ensuing. Yeah, I've sent in a lot of my units here. I've got about 3 units, but one of them is pretty depleted. We've got a charge from the Duke's Hairchild here to block some of the Skutatoy swordsmen who are trying to push through the Pavese spears. And now we've got the Treventin moving in. And they're pretty solid in melee, if I remember correctly. Yeah, melee defense, melee damage. It's pretty good for archers. So they're going to help hold. And look at that. Just from that charge, and now the archers moving in, the Skutatoy swordsmen are breaking. And we've got another unit of Treventin moving in as well. And my Ritter are breaking. At least they got 47 kills, though. But I think the Ossoldner are doing a little bit better. Whoops. Yeah, 16 and 20 kills, and they're still pretty healthy. Oh, boy. Oh, did that get any good kills? Yeah, it's hitting my archers in behind here. But it's also not causing, it's causing a lot of morale issues. Let's just zoom up so we can see the fighting going on. Oh, there we go. Right in the center, we've got another of the Holy Roman banner carriers. I don't know where his flag is, actually. Oh, every time I hear that. Sending back in my halberds to just break again. And, oh, it looks like another unit of dismounted Ritter has been sent in. And we should have another flag bearer here. Yes, there he is. It's being blocked by the flag of the Ossoldner. There he is. He He's been revived on the battlefield. But we've got a unit of homed arms actually here that's being charged in to bolster the lines. That's probably a good idea because these Provinciers are really suffering in the morale department. It's on red, so... Well, they're down to 38. This one's at 2, though, which isn't good. But, yeah, if we take a look at the entirety of the map here, these Scotsguard are on the walls now. And they're facing the wrong way, though. They're going to have to move to this side if they're going to be able to fire down on the Pavis-Amritsutsin. We got the Genoese crossbows over here, though, that are probably getting some decent shots off. And we have another unit of dismounted Ritter of the High Period, a couple of units behind here. But after these 3 units over here, that's pretty much my entire force that's been committed. I've got a couple of depleted units over here as well. But let's see how they brought it down to. So it's about 2-to-1 ratio now, which is really good. I think that it was almost 3-to-1 before. So they're definitely doing well, the defenders. The only problem is, will they have enough men to hold these choke points for an extended period of time? So they're down to 1,500 now. But they do still have some pikemen. Oh, those were some big hits. That's probably going to cause some wavering in the lines. Yeah. Yeah, those catapults, man, they are deadly. My crossbows over there, I don't even really think they're getting many shots. Yeah, both of them are obstructed again. 43 and 22 kills, so not even that many kills. They're almost out of ammo as well. But luckily, I don't think that the defenders have too many more archers. They do have this Scotsguard unit over here, and they have a Genoese crossbow over here. And it looks like the catapult has 1 more shot. And that's about it. Not sure if they're going to fire it now or later. But even still, let's take a look at what's going on here. Oh yes, so here we go. The Holy Roman Empire actually putting his men into a really tight column formation and is able to sneak them right around this defensive line for the French, which is a really, really good play. And now he's going to charge right into the flanks of these Pavis spears. Now, the only problem is that there is a lot of infantry that can come and now flank this unit. So, Bloblo's going to have to be pretty aware about what's going on over on this side. Actually, if we can see, yeah, the general, the Duke's Hairchild over here is coming around. Got a unit of homed arms coming around as well. And I thought we had some more units that were going to be pushing forwards. But yeah, look at this. Now we've got a unit of dismounted Ritter that have snuck around these spears. And yes, here comes the pikes over on this flank. These Ritter are very tired. But these spears should surely break soon. Yeah, they're shaken, exhausted. But here we go. We've got some Scotsguard actually, or sorry, some dismounted Ritter coming to support. So the Asaldner are turned around. And we've actually got some of the homed arms over here. It looks like they were going to clash with the Ritter, but they're actually pulling back now. And here comes the General's bodyguard. This is what I'm watching for, because I'm thinking that they're going to try and go for a charge against these halberds. The halberds do turn around and they try to get a counter charge off, but oh yes, oh my goodness. Yeah, that halberd unit took a beating. And we've actually got some crossbows pushing up over here, but now they're going to be caught in melee with the General's bodyguard. But yeah, this Ritter actually took about 20 to 25 casualties from that. The only problem is that the general's bodyguard now wavering. I'm not sure if the general... Yes, the general does die in that engagement as well. So a pretty big loss there. Trying to break this unit of Ritter, but they just weren't able to do it in time. But luckily we do have some of the French home d'armes over here that will try to hold them back. And I believe that we do have some more units that are pushing through. Yes, you can see we've got the Landschnet pushing in. I'm not sure if this is a tactical withdrawal or if this is breaking going on. Yeah, this is a lot of breaking going on. So look at that. This unit of Ritter is actually going to waver and break after all. And there is really nothing else here except for a unit of Ritter that is being charged up the ramp to quickly catch this unit of gendarme. How are we doing on the other side now? Oh yes, we have broken through the final defenses. Let's jump into this Varangian Guard, see where they're headed. I think at this point it's safe to say who is going to be the victor. I honestly think that if the defenders hadn't sallied out, they may have actually survived this siege. They may have actually won it. But who knows, right? Who can say? I just feel with 1,700 extra men, they would have been able to pull it off. But yes, now the Varangian Guard are fighting the home d'armes that are trapped in the streets. We've got some Imperial Ritter in behind them. But it doesn't look like they're actually going to flank them, interestingly enough. Yeah, we've got one more... we've got a couple more shots coming out from the artillery. But this is pretty much it. This is most of my forces here fighting at this last gate. I've got my Pavi's crossbows in the mix as well. They've used up most of their ammo at this point. Got a couple units of Austrians at the back there, like cheering them on, but not in the fight. That's kind of funny. They're like, no, you got it, guys, you got it. Yeah, here comes some more support. Let's jump out of there and see what else is going on. Yeah, they've got a nice formation over here with some of the mercenary Swiss pikes as well. So it looks like they're going to just try and defend the town center, but we're actually capturing it. We've got some of our units actually inside the center and are capturing it. But yeah, over here, I've got my general's bodyguard over here now, just charging in behind a couple of the units of dismounted Ritter from the Duchy of Brabant. And they broke pretty easily. Now that their general is dead, I'm going to jump into the Varangian Guard once again. They're going to be charging victorious through this courtyard, but they're going to meet some pikes, and that's going to be really difficult for the pikes to handle.
Victory point belongs to us now.
Oh, and there we go. We've captured the victory point as well. Let's jump out of there. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. That's my general, actually, trying to be a glory hound, get into the fight there. I'm trying to actually break these units of Genoese crossbows. But yeah, at this point, this is what it's come down to, guys. So what's the final numbers here? We still have 2,000 men, but they have 475. And with an extra 1,700, that would also bring it up to 2,100. So our man count would have been even at that point. Now, granted, we did take some losses to DeVos's army, so it would have been a little bit higher, but it probably would have been 2,500 to 2,100 at this point. And I really feel like the defenders probably could have scraped a victory out of this one. But unfortunately, that is not the case, and you can see my glorious Austrian Assaultner pushing the mercenary Swiss pikes back. And if over on that flank too, yeah, we've got a lot of Austrian swords flanking around the mercenary pikes on that side as well. That guy looked like he tripped and fell. That was kind of funny. Oh, his shoelace wasn't tied or something. But yeah, over here, the Varangian Guard are just tearing apart what's left of this defense. And I think that that's almost the end of the battle. 50 seconds left. My general over here, the Duke's Hairchild, he's just trying to rally his men. But we've actually got the French, the Count's Household Guard, coming over here as well. And I see that he's trying to go for a rear charge on my men. And actually, I think he is successful in getting a nice charge there. But I'm going to charge my general in as well and try to hold the men's resolve. And it looks like we're actually going to capture the fort in about 10 seconds, but these pikes wouldn't have lasted much longer. We've got the Varangian Guard coming in behind as well to kind of just deliver the killing blow in this siege. And there we go, a Pyrrhic victory. So let's take a look at the results before we end the battle. So for my forces, pretty unremarkable as far as the kills go. I didn't really get too many kills with most of my troops. My general getting 100 kills, though. And then Blablo, his Ritter doing pretty solid. His Soldner doing average. And his Cav not doing too bad. And then for DeBoss's army, his Spear's really holding there, especially in that first engagement outside the walls. 204 by his Anglo-Varangioi and 216 by his Varangian Guard. And also very high kills with his archers. Looking at CJ Sniper, he's got 380 with his pikes and 165 with his dismounted gendarme. And his crossbow's also getting really high kills. And his catapult, 262. And for the Duchy of Brabant, 130 with his general, the Pavis Bergman, getting really high kills for spears. That's impressive. But the pikemen getting a little lower kills. I think they were focused down by our archers. And 106 by the Ritters, not bad. The Trabantan ended up with 103 and 66, which is solid. And this unit of cavalry getting 237. So thanks very much, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this battle. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. And I will see you in the next one.